today we're at Olive's Neighborhood Garden for the Hungry in the beautiful city of Jefferson Park in the Republic of Chicago. So this started 15 years ago as an Eagle project by Seth Brecklin. Northwest Church of Christ was Chicagoland Depository Program. Will accept all fresh produce for us and whatever we grow. And then Olive Bogart on the corner here, she gave us the water when we started. And when Olive died in '98, in her third year, and it went from Garden for the Hungry to Olive's Neighborhood Garden for the Hungry. So here by the flagpole, we have a beautiful herb garden that's for the community. I harvest once a week. Actually, now we're up to harvesting twice a week for 2 different food pantries. But the last 3 years, the garden has removed the flowers and put an herb garden in. So there's a little sign with a bag and scissors that says, "Hey neighbor, cut your herbs on a daily basis." So I got 2 types of onion, 4 garlic, 2 onion chives. And hey Matt, how's it going? Hey, we're gonna finally put it on YouTube so you can watch it once. And that's Matt. Matt brings little miles here all the time. He loves it. Cool. Now, everything you see here is pretty much all repurposed. The bricks, the flagpoles, everything people say, "Bill, do you need it?" We get it and we design it. Outside here is our habaneros. Hi guys. So the habaneros probably won't still come in for another month, but they're really loaded down here. A lot of peppers on those bad boys. So this is the outside of the garden. Okay, welcome to our squash field. We grow 2 types of squash in the garden, what they call a summer squash and a winter squash. Our winter squash is spaghetti, butternut, and acorn, and our summer squash is saffron and zucchini. So basically, 90% of the squash here was started by seed or in my little greenhouse, which I'll show you later, that I have grown into the trees. You can see the one right there, probably a 20 pounds. It actually broke the branch of that tree. Yeah, there it is. And then they're going all along the fence line. It's such a beautiful thing. So this whole berm that you're looking at is all winter squash. I still got another month for this to grow. And then the berm over here, I have summer squash, zucchini, spaghetti, saffron, and more zucchini squash. So this is our winter squash. The reason why we put the winter squash here, you can see the tentacles. Winter squash wants to run. Summer squash is short and fat. And what it wants to do is sit there and be lazy. And I missed the zucchini today. Missed another one. Sorry, missed another one. So now what we do is we use these concrete forms and we tuck the zucchini inside the concrete form. And since it's short and fat and lazy, it tucks in. We call it massaging the girls. We push in the leaves until they come out. And in order we did this is to hit square footage farming. In this garden alone, I have over 70 squash. In those 2 berms, there's 70 squash. So that's why we use these cages. So as we enter the garden, it's the same thing. We got the squash on the side. You can leave it open. And then we have eggplants. I have 50 eggplants. And then the highway breeze is constantly blowing, so we try to make a wall to protect the peppers. I have over 200 pepper plants, 160 squash plants, 50 eggplants, 50 tomato plants, and endless vegetables. This will be my 10th harvest of radishes. I got my radish and beet seeds in this year, March 1st. My first harvest of radishes was April 24th, and I've had a continuous operation until last week. It was my first non-week of radish. So I had almost 9 solid weeks of radish. And the beets coming up will be my 5th harvest of beets. I gave about 100 pounds 4 times of beets. And then as I pull the beets out, we plant in between. And these are Melrose peppers. And this is a Romanian sweet pepper. And I got a gypsy pepper. And then more radishes. And then I have more sweet bananas. And then jalapenos and pepperoncinis. And then after my second usage of land on the same product, I went to saffron zucchini because I've already had a harvest of twice radish here. So I'm trying to fool the bugs. Plus, that's going to give me zucchini all the way to the end of October. And again, like I said, this is beautiful rhubarb. And then there's actually 3 zucchini plants in here, which is too much. All my seeds I put in the ground in my greenhouse all came up this year. Normally I only have 2 in here, but they're giving me beautiful zucchinis. Today I delivered 25 eggplants, 3 milk crates of peppers, over 20 zucchinis to our main food pantry. Hi guys. And then Tuesday's food pantry will be St. Caninas. How are we doing? I'll probably have more because I only did 1 row of eggplants, which gave me 20 eggplants. So I got 3 more rows of eggplants. It's probably getting like 38, but St. Caninas is a 70 household, which could be 1 or 5 per house. The other church we go is a 35 household as far as the people that come to the food pantry. So then there's cucumber seeds in the back. I put it in for Labor Day, but they're not doing good because the sun's blocking. So I got to change up what I'm doing for next year. And then the same thing with the tomato plants. I just come over here, and it's called Massaging the Girls. And I say, hi, girls. And we talk really nice. I say, thank you for giving me fruit. And then I'm 7 feet tall. I joke, if I'm not shoulder high by July, I'm doing something wrong. Then I pulled out my garlic, and I reseeded the beets. This seeds I put in Sunday came up in 4 days. Then I had 2 harvests of radishes here, so I put in saffron. My green beans are giving me a bag of green beans every week. It's insane. Go over here. Besides being the greatest swing ever made, this is the original sign. So if you don't want to know, this sign is 15 years old, and that's why I was Garden for the Hungry till Olive died. And then some other video down the road, we're explaining that we've also have multiple Eagle projects. I made this board for the community, our community bulletin board. Martin Radigan did a library. Brendan Inland did a pantry. So we have a daily food pantry. People keep stock. We have a library. And my favorite second son built me a 400-gallon drip system, so I can roll out 8 55-gallon drums for my squash that I drip it out. I built a shed last year. That's actually my greenhouse that I put in the middle of the field. And I got 3 shelves with 3 trays. And I put the moving blanket over it, and I started my season there as well. This would be Tuesday's zucchini harvest for St. Cornelius. And then this is what we do. We also do bees. I'll show you the bees. But this is what's inside the bee cone. This is man-made. Then the bees make the honey, and they cap it, and then we harvest it, and we put it out there, and the bees pick this clean. So a week ago, this was dripping with honey. Now we got wax for the bees to refill with honey, but this one broke on this. That's why I'm using it as a display. So, yeah, this is what the bees do. They take it from man-made, and then they fill it out. So what happened was, in 1800, the natural bee died, so we don't have any honey bee in America. We only have a bumblebee, which only pollinates and lives in the ground. I actually have a bumblebee nest under my honey hives. My hives come from Kentucky where they're cultivated, but they're Italian bees. So they're from Italy, cultivated in Kentucky, grown in Chicago. So this is where we keep our bees. So last year, we got about 90 jars. Serve salt. So I'm giving you an unfiltered, unpasteurized, pure honey of a 5-mile radius that has everything really nice. So this is the bees. We made a nice little trail back here, so you come with your son. You can sit down and you can enjoy yourself and watch the bees. And it's really, really nice. And I tell people the bees are harmless since I'm not a flower. And they're honeybees. They're looking at flower for food and not me. So if I was a yellow jacket, they'd bite me, but the honeybees don't care about me. So, walk in front. Are you scared? Okay. So, right down here, if the camera would sit here for a little bit, the bumblebee nest is under here. So you sit on the bench and the bumblebees fly in and out as the honeybees make their honey. And this is the garden. It's open to the community. I have tons of people come just hang out. If you like to pull a weed, I say thank you. So we've been going for 15 years until I have a heart attack. I hope I make 16 years. And I tell everyone just respect it like the community does. It's a fabulous response I get from the community. And everybody seems to enjoy it. So I'm done if you're done. Thank you. Bye. Good enough, right?